Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I see they're doing the national anthem. Beautiful flag they have there. Hope you guys are doing well. And I hope Jason has... not Jason. I hope Christian has good news. Jason, I hope you have good news too. But as for the question about how many turns Pocono has... The best answer, in my opinion, is 3 for the sake of the track. It's the tricky triangle. It's literally their whole identity. If you look at the thumbnail for this video, for this stream, the logo for the raceway, at least it used to have, the triangle in it. It may still. I know they modernized all the logos. I just prefer this one. The one the reason I used it. And then for all the races this weekend, they all had a triangle in the race logo. It is crucial to the track that we believe that it has 3 turns. With that said, in NASCAR, on a traditional oval, let's say Homestead, pretty much the same shape, both ends. If we count those turns like we do at Pocono, it would be a 2-turn track. Or Martinsville would be a 2-turn track. I think Martinsville is a better case. If we counted Pocono's turns, or if we counted Martinsville's turns like we do Pocono, Martinsville would be a 2-turn track. Right? So you could make the argument for 6. There could be 6 turns at Pocono. But the problem with that argument is that Indianapolis counts their turns as 1. Each turn of the wheel is 1 turn. It's a 4-turn track. But since one of those turns is replicating Indianapolis, then that turn would count as 1. The other 2 would count as 2 apiece. So 5 would be your answer. So it's a... I don't know why that argument's come up. I had never heard that argument before a few years ago. And then people started talking about it. So that was interesting, why that even became a thing. See what you guys are saying. Good to see you in the chat, King Stacy. Like, not King Stacy, but King and Stacy. Doodlebug says, race really got moved up 2 hours. That's right, because we're on Prime. They allowed the broadcast to be moved up 2 hours, and not only did the race move up 2 hours, they moved up their broadcast 2 hours, so that they went live an hour ago for the pre-race, which is pretty awesome. But it's a big but. It's a badonkadonk. Take a look at this. I just stand up and start twerking. No, the radar. I feel like we've been talking about the radar over and over lately. Over and over. Last several weeks. Radar, radar, radar. Well, we have this little shower that could hit the track as soon as the cars get rolling. So maybe it doesn't drop too much moisture and we just run additional pace laps. Maybe. The funniest thing that would happen is we let the cars go green. They come back, or like they go through turns 1. They go through they get into turn 2. Turn 2 would be the best turn for this to happen. And the whole field just wads up. Because the track is wet. That would be funny, but terrible. And then the bigger concern is this behind it. Not great. Christian, good to see you. I heard you had news. Something to say. So let's hit this play button and see what the movement is. All right, so a northeast motion. That's pretty normal to see. So it looks like at this track that the system is on. we may get lucky and this may be the portion that hits the track, but still, like, that's a 2-hour delay. That's a 2-hour delay. So thankfully they moved the race up. It's only 1 p.m. there. If we only have 1 2-hour delay, we're gonna get the race in. But if we have more than a 2-hour delay, we run the risk of ending the race early due to darkness, which would be one of the first ones we've seen in Cup. We've seen that in O'Reilly. We've seen that even in ARCA races. I don't remember a Cup race being called for darkness. But we could see that today. Jason said he was wrong about the poll yesterday. Trisha wanted Wendy's. She had a large chili. You had 3 doubles with just meat and cheese. Just meat and cheese, Jason. My man. My man. Everywhere I go, I get a plain burger. Everywhere. The only exception I'll make is like if I have a patty melt. Occasionally, I'll get it with the onions, even though onions run the risk of giving me a migraine. It does taste different, and I feel like the onions are crucial to the taste of the patty melt. That's just my opinion. Like, you gotta have the onions. Hope you guys slept well. I did not sleep much. I slept like an hour last night. And then I got up early, like 5:10, maybe before 5:10, and then I got back to sleep maybe around 9 or 10 for another hour, and then I almost didn't get up in time to like make the thumbnail, make the stream. I haven't even made the post-race thing yet because I was so short on time. I hadn't made the thumbnail yet or anything. Christian said he had a great night last night at Jennerstown, finished second. Ran with a car that's cheated up beyond us that usually runs away with your races. Not bad. Not bad. Guess what? Is the one-armed man there with you, Jason? Is he in the room? That's good. That's good. About the performance. So, in the open modified division of the track I was at, a car that started on the front row and potentially could have contended for the win they started on the outside. The faster car was to their inside. So they got out a little ahead, got clear. That opened the door for the third place car to move up to the inside line, inside the faster yellow car that we'll keep referring to. They go into turn 3. They're fine. But as soon as they get to turn 4, and it's real quick, it's a quarter mile, pretty steep banked track. The car on the inside. Oh no, I have it reversed. The yellow car was on the inside. It's fine, doing its thing. Car on the outside, though, it gets loose, and it hooks right towards the wall. Looks like it's gonna just knock down the outside wall, but it cuts it back to the left, and I believe they saved it. The car on the inside, the yellow car, saw it, overreacted, got loose, and drove it into the inside wall, and completely, I mean, it didn't destroy the car, but it bent the left front up and just ruined the downforce on that car. And it was hardly able to compete for like 6th place after that. Christian said there's also a situation Jennerstown is in trouble with NASCAR because 2 weeks ago, another driver that assaulted the driver you were helping. NASCAR wants to know what the track is going to do suspension-wise. Your Times keeps blowing off NASCAR, so it's going to be a whole thing pretty soon. That's rough. That's plumb wild. That's plumb wild. I was watching a bit of Ryan Hall last night. I was actually going to go live last night at 1 a.m. local time. Or maybe even before that. Like right around midnight. With some more Black Ops, Call of Duty gameplay. And it probably would have been awful. It probably would have just died a ton. But I have fun. And I just wasn't in the mood. I had some not great news yesterday. And I was also watching the Knicks fans celebrate New York City. I had multiple streams pulled up. Multiple. Just watching the damage and chaos take place. Burning school buses. I saw school buses with the front ends ripped off, with the mirrors knocked off, with the windshields busted in. I saw people on top of school buses jumping up and down. They hijacked the school bus and wrecked it. People were firing off fireworks. There were gunshots. There was drag racing. People doing donuts. People climbing street signs and street lamps and all kinds of things. It was chaos. Trash cans knocked over. Yeah, Ryan's a good follow. My only complaint with Ryan is his streams are a little overproduced at times nowadays. Not a fan of like all the songs he has for like his y'all watches and stuff. And like he's constantly talking to his AI robot, which I didn't mind it as much before with the old voice, but I don't like the new voice. Ruined it for me. Me. I'm just gonna go ahead and make the post race. I love how they're doing a starting lineup front to back. That's how you're supposed to do it. You begin every race running through the lineup, car by car. Oh, I don't have a thumbnail made yet for that. Okay, I gotta make a thumbnail too. Let's take that one, make a copy, open that one. Delete that. Delete that as well. Open this. Control Alt bracket. Ugh. Ran out of screen space. Oh, I did it again. Take that one, make it large, grande, El Grande Americano, and then we'll take the race logo, make it smaller. File. And download. Go back to the other tab, and we will select that thumbnail. Next, add a redirect. Let's send everyone over to the Y-Files 24-hour watch along in chat. That's a good idea. And then what time is... Oh, I don't know what time this race is going to wrap up. Let's go ahead and just put this at 7 p.m. Then I go back to this one. Stream settings, edit, customization, redirect, post-race, save. We are rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to go racing for 400 miles. Heading down pit road to set or check their pit road speeds. Christian said it's kind of weird. That happened 2 weeks ago. They blew off Nascar. NASCAR license manager suddenly. Oh my goodness. Whoa. NASCAR sent a license manager. Oh dear. Yeah, that's definitely sounds like it's going to be a thing. That is interesting. Stacey said at her local track, they flipped a car. She ended up being okay and went back out during the same caution. Not bad. Had a few wrecks. And the cleanup takes a while. That's the video of Max Velocity stubbing his toe. I don't think so. The funniest moment from Max is when he dressed up like Buzz Lightyear. I forget what that was for. Maybe for 100,000 subs or something. But I saw I just crossed 2 million. Good for Max. Good for Max. Initially on YouTube, it was Ryan. There were a few others like Evan and in WW116 or whatever his name is. And then Max. And Max was like, there was a hierarchy. Like Ryan would go live, he would have all the viewers. Then there might be some left over, and Evan and Max would kind of split those. And then now Max has his own like dedicated following. Jason said non-wing sprint cars at Circle City Raceway on July 27th. It's the NOS Energy Drink Series. They're giving away free NOS. That's awesome. That's awesome. I wonder how many I can get. King's Dead says NOS is a great drink. A lot better than Ty Gibbs juice. I disagree. But when I'm at work and they don't have Monster because they're sold out because they're so good, I grab a NOS instead. You went through 25 bags of Speedy Dry. Good night. Oh, look at Alex Bowman's new scheme. It looks good. I like it. I like it. I like the old one too, though. Alex Bowman has had a lot of good schemes, actually. And I saw yesterday they posted a bunch of his schemes from 2023 that didn't get used. And they were all really good. Why can't I hear the race? I'm getting no audio. Well, we are green flag racing. Still side by side into one. Oh no, my dog has a Twizzler. My dog has a Twizzler. Oh no. Look at him. Look at him. Oh. Oh. I didn't know what he was reaching for. Anyway, Larson had the advantage there, getting out of one. I thought Denny might get a good exit, but he did not. So now it's Larson out front. Suarez is now to the outside of Hamlin in the second row. Good to see you, King Mako. He's just eating a Twizzler. He ate the whole thing. Not bad for a, animal without thumbs, He's looking at the other Twizzler. Stop it. Are you happy? He's going to get diabetes now. I hope you guys know. That's terrible. Denny and Suarez still side by side. And what great speed from Suarez, too. I saw Suarez and Hocevar both qualified. I thought Hocevar qualified decently. Didn't he almost wreck in his qualifying lap? That may have been what threw him off. I may have been thinking of the practice times. Hocevar way down there. I saw practice. I didn't see qualifying live. I had to go back and watch highlights. Daniel Dye in the field. Man, Connor Zilic, what are they doing? He's not bad. He's not a bad driver. What are they doing with that 88? They're sabotaging what could have been a superstar career. Look at all these. Okay, we need to make some modifications to our leaderboard. Add the manufacturers, move that up, 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 that up, up, that up, turn that on, apply, and then we slide that over. That works. That works. Look at all these Toyotas. That's what I was wanting to point out. I knew just from their numbers they were Toyotas, but Buescher, the sole Ford up there in the top 10. Now Blaney's in the top 10. That should update here shortly. Well, Reddick and Blaney are actually tossing it back and forth. Back and forth. That's what I meant to say. Christian says they had 3 tire failures in turn 1 at his local track. All in street stock, 40 lapper, within 3 laps of each other. Good night. Made a 4-cylinder out-of-towner rage quit. Got dumped on a restart by one of your rookies. We had some contact on our restarts. Actually, the guy that qualified on outside pole missed a shift on the initial start of the race, and it caused a pile up further back. And so they had to... So our local track, you know, they have a rule. If they don't make it back, if every car doesn't cross the start-finish line on lap 1, they restart the race. They line them back up. Anyone involved in the caution goes to the rear. Everyone else assumes, you know, a higher position, and they go back at it. Yeah, Prime makes the Cup coverage so much better. I was going to say, it's going to be hard to pass today. You know, these cars are so aero-dependent. Pocono is pretty much a one-groove track. There are a couple corners that you can go side-by-side through. Not even be able to make it side-by-side around the whole track. But it's not optimal. Both cars suffer when you get side-by-side. And if this is anything like the O'Reilly race, which is a very, like, aero-heavy track, or a very aero-heavy race, outside of the leader, at least through the pack, if a guy jumped to the inside to try to make the pass and he didn't get it done, he usually lost some ground. So we could see that today. Austin Dillon really along that inside rumble strip, running it low. I'm really keeping an eye on Bowman today. That's why I'm wearing my Bowman hat. He has a win here at Pocono. Maybe he can have a good run today. Seems like the faster guys are all towards the front. Best lap 53, 53, 53, 53, 53, barely. 53, 53, 53. And then when we get to 9th, it drops to 54. And no one below that has run a 53. But both legacy guys up there, 8th and 9th. Lap 8 for Kyle Busch. Fans holding up. I'm seeing a mix. I'm seeing some 4 and 4s, and I'm seeing some 5 and 3s. Oh, no, not today, dog. Not today. You've already had a Twizzler. Not today. You say, the guy who rage quit, he had words with the rookie and the race director. Had a late model blow up and erupt in a 6-foot-tall fireball. Modifieds, you had 4 teams mad at each other. Ended up in a fight. At the end of the night, went to the bathroom, came out to everyone screaming, yelling at each other. Jason said he wishes Amazon would buy the rights for NASCAR. They even called the NASCAR Prime Cup Series. Imagine that NASCAR, like we've had different color logos like corresponding to the sponsor. It would be wild if we had a blue NASCAR logo. That'd be the first one since Nationwide. No, I was hardly conscious. I was trying to sleep for much of the morning, but I only got a couple hours, split up by a few hours. So, like, this is the only thing I've done. I didn't even watch the end of Le Mans. I got till about 5 hours to the end, and I had to sleep. Kenny's dad said his Domino's pizza got delivered. They upgraded his 20-ounce Meliola to a 2-liter. Hopefully that's a good thing. I'm not a fan of 2 liters because you have to drink it all, like, immediately, or it goes flat. For a family, that's great, but I don't know if you want your, like, young kids drink Mellow Yellow. That's like nuclear waste. It's good, but maybe not for kids. Team Mako said it was a 1 in a million chance of basically Lawson in front of him hit some gravel, and the gravel hit the emergency shut-off switch on the side of his car. No kidding. That, I wonder, like, is that something they can fix mid-season? I know it's, like, very rare for that to happen. But because it can happen, can they, like, fix that? Put a little flap over it, a little guard. What time is it for me? I'm just an hour behind the race. Behind local time for the race. Jason said, nice, John. Do you have enough pizza for the rest of us? Yeah. Jason said Amazon is Optimal TV, so it could be Optimus Cup Series. Yeah, Optimus Prime, baby. I have an Optimus Prime helmet. It's hard to see out of, though. Yeah, the only thing is, if NASCAR went to Prime full season, a lot of people, like, viewership numbers would be down overall. But for the youth segment, it would be up a lot, which is normally what Prime sees every time they release ratings. They're up in the youth ratings, but down from a TV broadcast. But, like, a lot of people don't know how to get to Prime. They're like, I don't get that channel. Well, buddy, they need you to sit down. It's not a channel. Little Bug says tricky triangle track. That's right. Larson's kind of running away with it. I think we might see that from whoever's in the lead today. Unless it's just a much slower car that's up there on strategy or whatever else could happen. Handling just goes away. I think we're going to see the leader split away. And it's going to be hard to run them down. And then through the field, it may be relatively tight. It seems like we have a few pockets of clean track and then a few pockets with heavier traffic. Larson right now outpacing Hamlin. Byron's still there in the top 10. Where is Chase? 23rd right now. Bell back there as well. Bubba's back there. on the cusp of dropping completely out of the chase race. So he's got to step it up, got to turn his season around. SVG back there in 30th, can't be running like that. And Brad Keselowski has not won this race, but he is on the bubble and about to drop out of the chase. So Brad has to step it up. Ryan Preece has to step it up here. So there's a lot of guys trapped further back, and unless you have a much faster car, you're not going to pass your way through the field. My goodness. Bowman's fallen back a couple more spots. I think he started 11th. Back to 14th now. How many corners, turns? We talked about that a little before the race. My answer was it's either 3, 5, or 6. Yeah, I think 3 is the best answer, but there are arguments to be made for 5 and 6. 5 because you count 2 of the corners as 2 turns apiece, and you count one of them as Indianapolis, which is 1. So that's 5 corners, and the 6 would be if you just counted them all as 2. But just for branding purposes and identity purposes, Pocono's unique. It's the triangle track. It's the track with 3 turns. It's how it was talked about for years. So 3 for that reason. The Poval, that's right. Honestly, there was a time, especially late Gen 6 era, where the races were so bad at Pocono that I think honestly that was on the board to run the road course. Make some kind of Poval. Honestly, this car doesn't put on a great show here either, so. But the fans show up. The stands were pretty full for the O'Reilly race. Apparently, it's the first time in years they've opened up the full grandstands for a Saturday race. I wonder if I can change the command for the 8-ball and rename it to exclamation chair, and then you guys could ask the chair questions. Actually, I would have to get up and take breaks intentionally just so you guys would have additional opportunities to ask the chair. Who's gonna be the first one to have brake issues today? Could be a Ford. Could be a Ford. Or Bubba Wallace. You've seen him do it here. Every time my dog touches the mic, it just leaves hair behind. Hamlin's running down Larson. At this rate, he will get there before the end of the stage, but getting there and passing are 2 different things. Hamlin might have to do it on the high side. Larson would be stupid to give Hamlin the inside willingly. The gap is down under a second. This is a 2-car battle right now. No one else in contention at the moment. Suarez 5 seconds back. Gibbs 5 seconds back. Gibbs may actually have a faster car right now, so he may be able to actually cut that gap a little bit if he was to get by. Yeah, Right now, just a 2-car race. Everyone else on track is kind of irrelevant. That Austin Hill in 16th, really good early race speed for that 33. Where is Austin? The other Austin. 26th. So yeah, Austin Hill's looking really good right now in comparison. Have Hocevar and McDowell both back here. Hocevar has better speed than that, where he's running. He may just not have the handle in the car. Almost lost it, I think, in qualifying. Suarez there, their teammate, up in 3rd. Really unequal right now. Chase Briscoe, top 10. He hasn't had as consistent of a year as many of his other Toyota teammates. And Legacy's really picked up the speed the last couple weeks. John Hunter Nemechek is creating his own legacy for the most crashes and wrecks. I've heard a lot of negativity about John Hunter Nemechek lately. Let's move that over so we can see his full name. I have heard a lot of negativity about him. Get the 3 Austins. We could even bring in Austin J. Hill. Hey, for how bad the 51 is most weeks, Cody Ware brings it home most of the time. You know, probably has around the same DNF rate the last couple of years as much of the top drivers. He's not wrecking on his own every single week. That's good to see. Chase moving up a little bit. I think. Maybe he hasn't moved, but he's stuck in 21st. Ross back there, 24th. So not a good day for Trackhouse as a whole. AJ Allmendinger up there, 18th. Good run for him. Look at that. Zane Smith, once again, speed. We've seen a lot of speed out of that car. Hamlin's continuing to cut that gap down. All right, Larson, you gonna run him dirty? Hamlin would do it. Hamlin would put all the dirty air on the front of Larson's car. That's what separates Hamlin in this Gen 7 car, specifically from most other drivers. He knows how to lead a race. Gino, good to see you. Have I heard of former IndyCar driver Mark Dinsmore? The name doesn't jump out to me, but I've only been watching IndyCar like full time since about 2009. So if it was before that time, I would not know as much of it. I'd only seen a handful of IndyCar races early in my life. Gino says take each other out. Honestly, yes. Your terms are acceptable. I accept. This would be a really competitive race if Larson and Hamlin crashed out. Ty Gibbs did have speed. I called it. He's cut that gap down. And Suarez fell back. Interesting. Interesting. So maybe Gibbs could get up here and, like, I don't know if he has as good of a car. He did run faster than the leaders, or is running faster than the leaders, but Larson's kind of holding up Denny right now. Could this be a Ty Gibbs day? I still remember Denny Hamlin's first race at Pocono, and he ran so well, and he was a rookie, and everybody was expecting a mistake or someone else to go up there and take it, and they didn't. And he ended up sweeping the races that year at Pocono. He's always been good here. Uh-oh, lap traffic ahead. Could that upset this battle here? I believe they're running up on the rear end of Casey Mears. Uh-oh. That's enough. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. Larson's trapped behind Casey Mears. Horrible. He was searching for clean air, and he ended up giving up the inside. Kyle Larson has no racecraft. I was trying to go back to the inside. Not gonna work. And now watch Hamlin expertly use this dirty air to his advantage. I think I have bug bites all over me from last night's race. Look at that. Bowman going ahead and pitting. He's going to try to flip the stage. Said not going to get stage points. Fine, I'll take track position. Kyle Larson's a hack. It's hard to say that when he will roll up to a random dirt track on any given night. No hot laps. Go out there and set the fastest time for qualifying and then win the race. I just don't think this car suits him at all. All right, Bowman has to get up to speed, and for 4 laps, he has to stay on the lead lap. It's a pretty big gap. I don't think Hamlin's going to run down Bowman. Bowman has fresh tires as well. Reddick's on pit road with that ugly supply house scheme. It's like a diet UPS scheme. Zane Smith on pit road as well. The action is picking up on pit road. Now, Hamlin and Larson, if they want to flip the stage as well, they can come down a bit later than everyone else because they have a bit of a gap. So who is going to stay out for stage points? And who is going to flip the stage for track position? Passing is very difficult further back in the pack. Look at that. Suarez holding up 3 cars right there. That is a beautiful 12 scheme for Ryan Blaney. It's a throwback to Ryan Newman's old paint scheme, his Altel paint scheme, if I remember correctly. And that scheme was painted. It was beautiful. Had the bass boat flakes. This car, because it's not painted, they weren't able to get it as a 1-to-1 match. And the guy who actually worked on designing the car talked about that on Twitter, so they weren't able to really nail it, so they just did the best they could. Daytona 500 scheme. It's a good one. I saw they had Ryan Newman at the Penske shop. They pulled out Newman's old car and put it next to Blaney's car. Why doesn't 2311 just put a big Jordan logo on the empty space so it look a bit better? They should. It is an ugly car. Remember when Kyle Larson lost his brakes and nailed Ty Dillon? I think about that every few weeks. That pops into my head for some reason. And it's like I expect people to reference it maybe, and that's why it pops into my head when I see people talking about Kyle Larson. And the announcers, they were theorizing what it could have been. And they didn't even bring up the possibility it could have just been Larson missing the turn. I think he just zoned out. Honestly, I think he just completely zoned out for a second. lost where he was on track and obliterated Ty Dillon. That was a crazy, huge hit. I mean, normally when these guys get together, there's only a difference of speed of 20, 30 miles an hour. When Larson hit Ty Dillon, there was probably a 70 to 80 mile per hour difference. So Hamlin and Larson staying out. They think they're strong enough to run back through the field. Last two cars receiving stage points, Logano and Austin Hill. Austin Hill, can he make the chase? Austin Hill proceeds to win the next 10 races and the stages. So when he, no, that's in Minecraft. I'm sure that's what you meant. Good to see you, Hamlin fan. Things are going well for you right now. Then he was able to run Larson down. So didn't have the fire off speed, but he did have the speed over the longer run. Let's actually take a look at J-Ski and see what our fuel window is for today. For the Great American Getaway 400, presented by VISITPA.com. The fuel window is 42 laps. 42 laps. Remember that. So this next stage is 95 laps. Oh no, this next stage will be 35 laps long, right? No. 65? Is it really 65 laps long? They do this flag at 30. So I hate how they do the stages. This was my confusion. I hate how they do the stages on J-Ski. They show what lap the stage is complete. They don't show how long each stage is. So 30, 95. So that's a 30 lap stage. That's a 65 lap stage. And that's what, a 70 lap stage? I can't do math today. That's another 65, right? That's horrible. I hate how they list the stages. I hate it so much. It confuses me endlessly. Another thing that's pretty, like, noticeable, the caution car speed, 70 miles an hour. When we do go under a caution period, it takes so long to go back green at this track, because it is a long track. That's why guys like Bowman were able to pit as far back as they were and not lose their lap. I think that was a really good call. Bowman may be restarting P1. He'll have a few drivers behind him. So we'll see if Bowman is able to hold that top 5 track position, or maybe even hold the lead. Another thing to look out for. So since we have a 65 lap stage coming up, they will have to pit in this stage if we don't get a caution. I don't think that matters too much. Both the guys that pit early and the guys that stayed out will have to pit about the same time. You know, just a few laps difference. It's not a crazy deal. But the guys that stayed out will have older tires towards the end of this run. They'll already have a few laps on them. So might that matter? Let's take a look at the radar. So it looks like that little cell did pass by. No rain. The next bit to worry about would be this, and this will probably track right over the track. This next little cell. Middle of the screen. That pin is the track. It's been moving northeast. That looks like it's going to go straight for the track. If that can somehow pass by, if it can break apart, then maybe this is light enough to where it doesn't drop any rain. There's a chance. There's a chance. It's a small one. There's a chance we get this one in. Reading Pennsylvania, that's where Taylor Swift is from. Taylor Swift former classmate of Josh Berry. That's the only thing notable about her. She didn't do anything else notable. That's her main accomplishment, being a former classmate to Josh Berry. Anyway, let's look at our radar. Always keep an eye on that. Jason said he likes Indy, but watching on TV has a feeling it would be impossible to see the whole track at times. That's what you think. Martinsville and Bristol, any short track. Yeah. Indianapolis is like that. I've been there in the stands, and specifically the front stretchers in the infield stands, and like you can see a fair amount of the straightaway you're sitting on, but you can't see anything else. I mean, you're just looking at the fans in front of you, which it is super unique in that aspect. It's one of the few tracks where you have fans sitting across from you. You kind of have that at Talladega. They do have an infield seating section, but it's very small. And you're not face to face. I mean, you're like hundreds of yards hundreds of yards away from the people in the infield, but it's just a wall of fans in front of you at Indy. Pretty unique. Yeah, you don't really see them much, so it's kind of like being on a road course where you just see them when they come by, and then the rest of the time you're looking at the TV screen, which they are smaller screens at Indy, so you also have to deal with that. Have to have good eyesight. Redding. I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it. Memory's not the greatest either. So I always doubt myself, and usually when I doubt myself and go with a different answer, that original answer was the right one. I don't know how. Maybe this is just a sign of dementia. Maybe I'm losing it. But whenever there's a 50-50 on anything, I will always pick the wrong answer. I have a 100% chance of picking the wrong answer on a 50-50. Washed up. Went to Chili's one time, got kicked out. Reason you got kicked out was because you're a waiter. Oh, you wrecked your waiter. Told them to call you Hurricane Hocevar. I wonder if any employees at my local Chili's would actually know who Carson Hocevar is, or if they just like have no idea. Who do I think will win stage 2? At this rate, Hamlin could. I mean, it depends on, what happens over the long run. If we get cautions, if guys flip the stage. So like there are multiple things that could impact this, but I mean, if they just run straight up, Hamlin looks really good. Gibbs looked really good. But Gibbs, from what I'm seeing in the running order, lost some spots. Where is he? This running order looks a bit jumbled. Alex Bowman was not able to grab the lead. He's actually the first car ahead of Hamlin and Larson, so he didn't really gain that much track position. Thoughts on spoons? I love spoons. Favorite utensil? I will fight people over that. I will fight people. Forks suck. They have some utility, obviously. But in the Army MRE, United States military MREs, the only utensil you are provided with is a spoon. And because the U.S. military knows it is the only utensil you need. And if there was something that you needed to cut, most soldiers carry a little pocket knife on them at the minimum. But that's not really a worry. I mean, none of the food in MREs needs to be cut up, so. I mean, best one is the spoon. Hands down, you can eat cereal, soup, chili, whatever. You can eat spaghetti. you try hard enough. It's perfect. Perfect. I'm passionate about that. I have talked about that extensively. Maybe not on stream. But I've brought that up in real life. It seems to be a lot of people, it's pretty split between who picks spoon, who picks fork. But I am a spoon kind of guy. I love peanut butter. I was just talking about that this morning with my dad. That if I die in the next few months, it's probably because I choked to death on peanut butter. I'm actually about out. For the record, I voted for Taco Bell. What's up with the poll? I think people, once you go to Taco Bell, it was at a certain percentage. The number, oh, it's back. It keeps jumping back and forth. I think someone's changing their vote, is what's throwing it up, or throwing it off. They have 7 votes. Look at that. We're a democracy now. So Reddick and Nemechek up front. 2 Toyotas leading the way. 2 Fords behind them. Will anyone make it 3 wide? See, Herb's further back, going 3 wide. Oh, we're going 4 wide further back. Oh, big stack up going into the corner. Are we going to see a crash? Somehow they all held it together. Wow. That outside line really stacked up going into the corner. Bowman all alone on that inside groove. Briscoe going for the pass on him. Bowman's going to lose several spots here. Now, Byron and Larson teaming up. Oh, no. I think all 3 Hendrick cars are fighting each other right now. They're not, like, no one's helping each other. Nah, we're good. Oh, my goodness. Bowman's already lost all the track position he gained by coming in and pitting early. All right, let me pull my scoreboard back up. So the notable thing, Chase Elliott. I think he's actually in 11th right now. That'll update here in a second, but positions are really up in the air at the moment. And they currently have him scored 11th. That'd be a good recovery if Chase Elliott could get up there in the top 10 this stage. Right now, Larson and Blaney are fighting side by side. It's a 3-car battle at the front. And that's just bringing Hamlin right back into the conversation. What would be interesting is if Blaney can get up front. Does Blaney have any speed for these guys at the front of the pack? Man, it's a beautiful car. I would love if that car won the race. I like Ryan Blaney, but I really like that car. It's pretty. They need to run that as just the base scheme for that sponsor. So it looks like, Jason, it looks like Taco Bell has won the vote. I'll leave the poll up a little longer. I'll give it another minute. So if you haven't voted in the poll, go ahead. Nemechek and Reddick still side by side. Nemechek with the slight advantage. Oh, I think Reddick might have gotten to the outside wall a bit. I'm going to see if they replay that. That was close if he didn't. Those Hendrick guys not able to keep up right now. Bowman falling back another couple spots. Now we have Byron, Larson, and Elliott 7th, 8th, and 9th. Bowman falling back. Just a nest of cars up ahead. Blaney and Hamlin side by side right now. And Byron looking to the inside, trying to get by Briscoe. Ooh, Zane Smith going to cross him over. We're going to go 3 wide into 1. Blaney backed out of it there. So does Zane Smith... Oh, no! Aggressive goes around! Well, that answers that question. Let's end the poll here. Taco Bell is your winner. Zane Smith spinning, coming out of turn 1 after his aggressive move to the inside. Gets loose on the inside, comes around, collects the inside wall. The rear tire's flat. Just lost it. I mean, that's a textbook Gen 7 self-spin. Car darts to the right, you try to catch it, and it comes around. Oh, is that Todd? I thought that was Zane Smith. That's my bad. I get those cars. Who is it? Who was it? I get the 34 and you just see the 34 and the 38 at a glance. Sometimes it's hard to tell, so I get that completely. Okay, it was Zane Smith. Okay, I thought I was legitimately brain dead for a second. That's still up for debate. Should that be a poll? It is Zane. It is Zane. I double checked. So see, like you see their font. It's 34, 38. It's the same font. So at a glance, it's very easy to confuse. But yeah, that is Zane Smith. See, I trust King Mako more than I trust myself. Sadly, didn't take the 11 with him. That could have been a big hit. Yeah, he could have done us a favor. If he's going to wreck out of the race, like, come on. Just do us a favor. Oh, dear. Okay, guys. Let's check back on our radar. It's getting closer. Our last loop was 1:04 p.m. So the weather is just about there. Maybe if this holds a bit more east, we could get lucky and this lighter band could pass over and not really drop any moisture. This radar is pretty sensitive, is why I always take it with a grain of salt. We've had times where there's rain, according to the radar, sitting over the track and it's not dropping anything. Look at all of these watches and warnings. I guess these are more like advisories. But it's close. It is getting close. As soon as we get a replay of that last spin from Zane Smith, we'll pull it up. dodged a bullet into Long John Silver's. Yeah. Man, that's a shame. Zane has had so much speed recently. The pit window is 42 laps. Remember that. The fuel window is 42 laps. So these guys pitting here will not be able to make it to the end of the stage, but they won't have to take as much fuel. Also, if you're stuck further back in pack, you might as well come back in and get some adjustments, try to find some speed. Kristen says we get to the end of this. We will get to the end of stage 2 for them to pull a Charlotte and call it. If we're lucky. If we are lucky, that's how it will turn out. They had to tow Zane Smith back in. Back to the garage. Don't you just love this Gen 7 car? Where any Gen 6 car, the tires would still be up. And they could just roll it back to, you know, the pit stall, make some changes. Wouldn't even have a broken toe link. Nothing to worry about. I don't see O'Reilly cars breaking toe links and having flats after, you know, very simple spins. Trisha said she went Subway. Well, Taco Bell had so big of a lead that she's going to need more votes if she wants to win the poll. Hamlin fed in pancakes. I considered making that sound, Junior saying pancakes, the subscriber sound, when we get new subs. Speed Junior, pancakes, pancakes. That would be absolute cinema. I like the idea of that, but I have the Bowman celebrating and aggressive goes around. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, this Gen 7 car was supposed to save the team's money, and it has done the opposite. They're spending more money than they ever have. So congratulations, NASCAR. You played yourself. All right, here's our latest radar loop. It's not looking bad. Not looking bad. Just a very light band. So this could pass over harmlessly. And if it does, that gives us a lot more room where we could potentially get all of stage 2 in. Now, I know you'll know this, Christian. Do we have to make it to the end of stage 2? Or is it just halfway on distance? I forget how they do that specifically for stage racing. And Hamlin was really far up the track there. Byron looked like he wanted to take it to the inside there. Didn't take it. Hamlin was pretty gracious there to Byron to give him the clean air on the inside. Radar Loop sponsored by Amazon. I am okay with that. Halfway on distance. Very nice. Very nice. So, you know, as long as this band of rain doesn't drop anything, this current one, then we will probably get to halfway on distance before this heavier stuff comes through. And potentially, if we get lucky, that may not even drop moisture. There's a chance we get this race in, but it depends on what happens here. We'll be watching the radar. We will be watching closely. That Chase Elliott getting past Kyle Larson. Up from 21st. Clawing and fighting his way. Oh, we have... Oh, no! Several cars involved. That's SVG Bubba Wallace. Brad Keselowski. I think I maybe saw Bell back there involved. I think Bell may have been one of the cars that set it off. Heavy damage for Brad Keselowski. He is going to drop out of the chase standings. Just a horrible last 3 weeks for Brad Keselowski. I believe the last 3 weeks. Connor Zilic once again involved. Barry, so it was Barry I was seeing. Maybe not Bell. Bell was back there right by Barry. Looking at the leaderboard. Rusty McShackleford, I saw you pop in. So I made that stream for Black Ops last night. I didn't actually end up going live. But, oh yeah, so Bell didn't set it off, but he was back there in the cluster of cars. Oh, Bubba just lost it. Oh, no, no. No. Brad had it cleared. He was good. Bubba just didn't get on the brakes. Thought he could Days of Thunder his way through it and lost it. Spun right in front of Brad Keselowski and ended his day. Thank goodness, Bubba. Like, great job. Great job there. Got tagged. Maybe that helped him get to where he was, but I don't know. I need to see this again. Okay. Yeah, I think he did. Oh, yep. Little contact there. I was really upset about that. Looking at it initially, but yeah, now that we've seen that angle, I think you're exactly right. Man, it was so close. Brad had it cleared. He was gone. And then the late spinner, Brad Keselowski, gets taken out by Bubba Wallace coming back across the track. Joey with some damage too to the right front there. That dog's not going to hunt. Austin Hill barely getting by. McDowell squeezing through. DD12 having timing issues. They're almost a minute behind live timing. Yeah, I mean, the last few times I've checked in on their prime coverage, I mean, they've been a half a second behind. So that's wild today to be a little further back. Jason said, just want to say thank you, brothers and sisters on here. You guys and gals made his life so much better. He loves us very much and dearly. Always pray for our NASCAR family. It's very kind words. Always very nice, Jason. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here, watching the race together. Good night. Look at that. Ford. Another Ford was involved. Good night. So the fuel window is 42 laps, right? So maybe with another caution, or maybe with some, laps letting off very early, they might be able to save. Might. I don't know. They're kind of on that outside edge of the fuel window. I want to see another replay of that. So much happened. I was looking at a different piece of that wreck every time they replayed it. Pull up in Mr. Matthews CFB. So we have the Zane Smith. We have Kozlowski. Connor Zilch. I haven't been taking notes this whole time, by the way. I've just been enjoying the race as much as I can. So let's pull that open. I'll put himself in the fins to get by those guys. Yeah, that's what I saw. When the camera was looking back, I saw Bell into the outside wall. So that's why I thought he had more to do with it than he did. Then again, you know, especially with these composite bodies, I would rather ride the wall than run into the back of somebody. So, you know, maybe a business decision there for Bell. Bubba's gonna sue. Yeah, it is. It can be for sure. It's kind of like, you know, there are times when a race is on broadcast television, on Fox or on the CW, I watch off my TV. So I'm usually, you know, 20 to 30 seconds ahead of you guys in that situation. And then there's a small delay for YouTube. I think I have it turned down to low, not very low. The traditional one, I think, is about a 15-second delay. So occasionally I accidentally have it on that setting. Let's take a look at this replay. This is why we are under caution. So we're looking. This is a great camera angle, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I just was focused on Bell. Come on. I was like, maybe Brad doesn't have too much damage. And I see this camera angle. Oh, no. He has a ton. Ugh. It hurts to watch. It hurts to watch. That looks like did he just repost that with a different caption? Or is this a longer video? 23 seconds. Yeah, it's the same video, just reposted with a reposted with a different caption. Can I reply? I can try. Yeah, I need to make my notes so we're good for the post race. Stage 1 was a snooze fest. I should just copy Christian's comment word for word. Stage 2 is actually interesting so far. It's because Hamlin's not up front. If Hamlin and Larson, maybe even Gibbs, weren't in this race, we'd be fine. But because Hamlin's in the field, he's going to stink this race up. You know, Hamlin was a good pick here anyway. You know, even if you ignore everything he's done this season, Hamlin is always a good pick at Pocono. He's always been good at Pocono. But especially because the advantage Toyota has, plus how well Hamlin's been running recently, he has the momentum. That car has been fast pretty much everywhere. Pull, 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 win, win, win. And now, you know, it looks like he's once again one of the best cars, if not the best car. But we actually saw some like side-by-side racing for the lead because Hamlin wasn't up there. Well, we will see what happens on this next restart. Just making my notes here. So if it looks like I'm locked in, it's because I am locked in. Also, this is everyone's reminder to check in for today's race if you are a member of the NASCAR Fan Rewards program. Free stuff on the table. If you're here and you're watching every race, every weekend, or at least are aware of the races every weekend, it's free to join, free to be a part of. And you can get free tickets, free opportunities, merchandise, gift cards, all this different stuff. So you might as well join. Might as well join. It's good stuff. Let's see if we have another replay posted. Interviewing Brad Keselowski. I still don't have race audio. I don't know why, but today I have no audio. There we go. I finally have audio. I don't know why. My audio was on 100, but the sound was turned off. Even though my headset's on, and wow, that's weird. Joey's car's looking rough. Jason said he's thinking NASCAR setting a record for the most rated season in one season so far. And definitely lately. We might have to put Bristol in a dome to avoid the rain. Yeah, they've actually floated that idea a few times, but that was back in NASCAR's peak. Nowadays, I don't think they would have the money to do it, and it probably wouldn't go well. Then you also have to worry about sound, how loud it would be. You also have to worry about the fumes. So there would have to be like a ventilation system built in. Maybe some sound dampening in the roof itself. So a lot would have to go into it, and it would be the biggest, probably, stadium rooftop in the world, if I had to guess. Oh my goodness, yep. That humidity is insane, Rusty. Insane. Hulk Hogan, SpongeBob, Patrick, Hank Hill. Good choices there. Many good choices. Rusty said the only Bristol race he ever went to was the truck race. They got snowed out. Oh, dear. Three wide through the field on the restart. Nemechek out front. Briscoe trying to run him down. Eric Jones third. Hocevar fourth. So there's several guys that stayed out. And then you have the cluster of guys that pit. I think Chase Elliott might be the first car that pit. Denny Hamlin right behind him. Check my snapshot. Maybe. Just to the garage. With the fans going, certified mechanic, but out in the bright sun, no wind. Yeah. That's there are many positives to living in Florida. But there are a few negatives, and it's some that many people are not willing to accept. Hot weather, hurricanes, property taxes, red flag gun laws. Said yesterday, I wanted to be a ACS service technician. Your brother Steven went to college for that. Yeah, it would just be so cool to actually be a certified technician. Because like that means you know what you're doing. Like it really does. Keselowski's going to be out of the chase by the end of the race. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably what's going to happen. Reddick should just retire and focus on the car. I want him to get some more wins. He's been so close. This season, up until the last few weeks, has been really good for him. And he's been fighting. He's been... Even when... Like, they haven't been qualifying well. That's a big thing. They haven't qualified well. But they usually fight their way up around the top 10. And just not race-winning pace yet most weeks. Should get a position for a national hurricane center to name a hurricane after Hocevar. That would be pretty epic. Hurricane Carson or Hurricane Hocevar. Whichever letter they want to take. Which we haven't had a lot of hurricanes lately. Last year we didn't really have any. Like, nothing major. And this year, it's been pretty quiet so far. Yeah. Now, Ryan Hall has said that may not matter. We still could get a big one. But, I mean, if you're just looking at last year, who knows? We may not see much this year. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about Bell's wrist. I completely forgot about that. Now to look at the radar here really quick. So this probably won't drop any moisture. The stuff behind it, like that next band further back is probably the next thing we need to worry about. But as long as we can get to lap 80, we'll be good. So it might be close. If we get another caution, it may be an issue. Uh-oh. That update's a little less optimistic. I don't know if we're going to make it at this point. It's a very small band of rain. So this could only drop a little moisture. This could stop the race. Maybe an hour stoppage if it doesn't completely soak the track. But after that, I mean, it looks pretty good. We could probably get the race in. So we're looking much better than we were at the start of the race. Rusty said he lost his apartment in Hurricane Milton. I don't think I remember Milton. Yeah, I mean, I definitely watched coverage. I always watch the coverage of hurricane landfalls. I think I remember Milton just because of the name. Thinking Milton was like a very non-serious name. Milton sounds very small and timid to me. Like the name of a mouse. Milton the mouse. Is that a thing? I'm reading about it now. Second category 5 hurricane of the extremely active 2024 hurricane season. Strongest tropical cyclone to occur worldwide in 2024. Good night. Damage 34.4 billion. 30 billion of that was just Rusty's apartment. Oh yeah, what a weird track that was. Yeah, that's the one that basically hit Kennedy Space Center. And, you know, it's built, the stuff down there is built to withstand hurricanes. There was some sheet metal blown around, but there really wasn't much damage at the Cape. And typically that area doesn't get many landfalls. That's a relatively safe area from hurricanes. Like, obviously, there's no safe place along the coast for hurricanes, but it just doesn't see very many. So to have one track like it did, to hit the East Coast and then to go out the west side of Florida, I think that may have also been the storm that dumped a ton of rain in Tampa and Clearwater. Like there was just standing water. Looking at the track here, that was something. That was something. What a mess. Damage all the way up to Asheville. That's right. That's right. That's right. That was the Biffle hurricane, if you want to call it that. Yeah, that one was wild. Turned around and just laid down a ton of damage. Still green, but we are under a commercial break side by side right now. Nemechek still leading. Hamlin making a pass there on McDowell as we come back from the commercial break. Let me zoom back up. First floor of his apartment building had 5 feet of water. That's insane. I remember being down at the beach right after a hurricane, and the hotel I was staying at still had a watermark on the wall. The first floor. It was probably maybe about 4 feet high. And, you know, they repainted most of the first floor, but some of the areas, the back hallways leading to different areas, pool, arcade, whatever was down there, pickleball court, there was a strip of kind of like a rust-colored stain on the wall. Never seen a tornado in real life? Went out of town one time, and one weekend you got a small in your area that damaged like 40 houses, businesses, a lot of trees. Don't go out of town again, Christian. It's crucial you don't leave town again. I would love to go to Asheville. I want to visit the Biltmore Estate. It's like a really big mansion. Has a big garden and stuff. You can take a tour of the garden and the inside. The fireplaces in the dining room are so big, you can just walk in. Like they're so tall, so wide. Massive place. They had giant dormitories for all of the servants and workers that worked at the estate. It was a massive operation. From the that was from the Vanderbilt family. I think one of the sons, that was his passion project. Jason's been to Biltmore. Very nice. There's a documentary on Biltmore from like the 90s. You can find it on YouTube. And it's one that we used to watch every year in home ec. See, I want to go, at some point. Could Legacy possibly win today? I would love to see an Eric Jones win. Nemechek also exists, but, this is a hard track to pass at. This is a very hard track to pass at. Because of this Gen 7 car, maybe also the horsepower package they're bringing. They may need to go to the low downforce 750 here. But I imagine this is exactly what we will see at Indianapolis. Just, whoever has track position up front will kind of hold that. Chase actually making a move here on Suarez. Gonna get past him. And either Byron's making a pass or getting past here. Okay, and moving up. Getting past McDowell here. And it's a single groove track, and with the dirty air of this car, it's just so hard to pass. I would love to go hurricane. Not, I almost said hurricane chasing. I would love to. I mean, it would be cool to cover a hurricane. I went for hurricane cleanup. I was there for, I think it was Lawrence. It wasn't too bad. There was like a few inches of standing water. That was about it. That was in 2018. I was sent out to a Boeing facility out there because they were anticipating power outages and security gaps. And then it wasn't that bad, actually. Has there been a hurricane, Jason? There's some names they just skip over and they refuse to use. Whenever a Hurricane Philip happens, I want it to be Category 20. Millions to die. I want it to be remembered forever. It's got to be a big and strong hurricane. All right, Ross dropping back here. Chase Elliott in the top 5. We'll see if Byron can run down Reddick. That's the gap I'm going to be looking at. Reddick's probably going to get by Suarez here. Suarez has been falling back. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. You're playing money for nothing in this Goodyear commercial. That's a great guitar intro. Catching up on my notes still. All right, I have my notes pretty good. Let's look at our radar again. Oh. If it's gonna do it, this is the time. We are not halfway yet. NASCAR's going to keep this thing green as long as they can. Unless the drivers see a tidal wave of water, I don't think we're going to see a caution here. Oh my goodness. Bowman just... Oh, why Bowman? Just dropping back. Horrible. Yeah. I like the music as well. I sorted through very many options. I initially wanted something more along the lines of the original Sports Center theme. You know, kind of set the tone more and more have, you know, in general a late 80s vibe to it. And I was searching through all these songs to like buy the rights for. And I stumbled upon that one and I was like, I'll just save that one. And then it ended up being the one I went with. We like to do natural disaster cleanup, but can't find who to get a hold of for that. Yeah, I mean, that's hard to say who exactly. I mean, you could always join the National Guard. You'll have to do some other stuff, though, but you definitely could. Deploy and refuel generators at cell tower sites. Interesting. That's very specific. Did I see the photo shoot yesterday? I did not, I don't think. I wasn't paying attention. Did I miss something? I feel like every once in a while I miss a chat. Like I just, it doesn't pop up on my end. I feel like I'm missing context. Byron passed Reddick. He did. And he's probably about to get past Chastain and Suarez. All right, Hamlin's talking about things feeling funny. They haven't thrown the caution flag yet. I don't know if we're going to get one. I'll have to listen to Let It Happen. I don't know if I know that song. Gino says we need to do a 2005 session again. I've been considering it. I like playing 03. 03 is a prettier game. I think it has better graphics. The lighting's not as good maybe as 05, but I think the graphics are better than 05. But the physics are a little better in 05 than 03. 03, they're pretty simplistic. Just keep it in the bottom groove. Hit your braking points. Eric Jones catching Briscoe. Now, pit stops could change all of this. Chastain locked up the right front. May have gotten a speeding penalty there. In his Busch Light Lime Chevy Camaro. Bunch of emergency cleanup Facebook groups. Who's the oldest one in chat? Yeah, I'm 7,000 years old. I've been around a while. How many races does Hamlin say things feel funny or off? He wants to give us false hope that he's going to fall off. It would be fitting Hamlin doesn't win this one, if he didn't, is because this is the one a lot of people thought he would win. I mean, he was a great pick for today. Certified unk. That is a statement, Jason. I think the older you get, the better you are at passing gas. Of volume, and frequency. I think that's something you have to age into. Maybe it's just me. But I feel like I've aged into it. I'm in my gas era. Kristen says preseason prediction was Buescher, but he's been irrelevant today. Yeah, he was up there at the start of the race, but not a contender at the front. Nemechek in. Jones probably needs to come by this time. Or come in this time. Oh, I still have Call of Duty open. Let me pull up my task manager. Call of Duty only takes up 300 megabytes of RAM? I'll just leave it open. I'll just leave it open. Good job, Black Ops. That's a good game. Oh, dear. Jason. All right, Briscoe may be the guy to reassume the lead here. That Dollar Tree car looks really good. That's better than the actual Dollar Tree paint scheme. Way better. The green one does not do it for me. I think Legacy has the worst paint schemes. Maybe in all of the Cup Series. They're really bad. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think they have some really bad paint schemes. 2311s aren't that good either. I mean, they have a few, like, good ones, but a lot of them are extremely plain. And Denny said that's on purpose, because they want clean race cars. But it's like, brother, it's boring, it's bland. Like, Reddick's car today looks awful. No, Black Ops 1, all time. That is an all-time game. This veteran mode, if any of you guys join me for one of those streams, I am extremely agitated because I'm playing through on veteran, trying to play in controller, which I'm not used to. So I'm not as fast as when I use mouse and keyboard. And it's so punishing. I mean, you look around the corner for a millisecond, you got triple headshot, you're dead. Well, you just lost 5 minutes of progress, right? Just like that. It's rough. I'm also going for achievements while we play through the missions. So I've compounded the difficulty. Chase Elliott running along here. Maybe this plays out well for him if he doesn't have to take much fuel. As long as Hamlin doesn't come down, though, I think Chase is able to stay out. Hamlin was a bit faster than Elliott that last lap. Keep an eye on that gap there. So just a quick peek at the radar. Looks like it's moving through pretty well. Next biggest shot of rain would be this system further back. So we're at least going to get this stage in. Look at that. The NASCAR logo. Ron, thank you for joining us. I actually want to replace this alert box with our other one. All right, so I switched it out for the Alex Bowman one. That one was just an artifact from a different software I was using earlier. It's confirmed that Black Ops 1 will be coming to... It's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. Activision has not said a word on it, but it has been uploaded to the PlayStation servers, and people have been able to download it. They just can't play it because there's no license yet. I didn't even see that. I just checked my Snapchat. I had no clue that you ever said that. Hello, Johnson fan. He said the funny number. Ready for the IndyCar 26 game? I hope it's good. I don't know if I'll be good at it. So I think what we'll do is we'll turn the AI down to like 95 at the tracks I don't know very well, and just try to keep up with the pack. And then once I learn how they run at 95, then I'll turn up to 96. That's kind of what I did with Nascar 25, but I started at 102 and just slowly worked up to 105 or towards 105. No. Jeff Gordon, he's a very different man. I look more like Ryan Gosling. Basically a spitting image. Like Brad Pitt. Me and Brad Pitt, we're like twins. It's literally just the hat and the eyebrows. That's the only reason people comment Jeff Gordon. That's the only reason. Take the hat off and there's no resemblance. I do know a number that's funnier. You could also just reply with everything. Looks like Hamlin and Elliott might be trying to stretch it. I don't know. Maybe they're going to come down and pit late. Hamlin does have the lead currently. Oh, see, the caption didn't work. I don't know why that is. I guess I'll turn the other one back on. Thank you for whoever just subscribed. I appreciate you. No. Well, you don't have to. All right, Denny and Chase on pit road. Did Denny speed? There's a question we have to have. All right, Denny getting off pit road really well. So Denny has the advantage of the guys that just stopped. Does Chase have anything for Hamlin here? Man, I love the look of that 12 car. Every time it's on screen. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Suspicious, Jason. Suspicious. Stacy, I'm just like Christian. I am an instigator. I am a pot stirrer. All right, Cindric and Bell on pit road. I didn't even think about Bell with his wrist. If that contact to the outside wall could have messed with his wrist even more. Makes me wonder. You're keeping the peace. Wasn't Ryan Newman's first win at Pocono? I do not recall. I'm not a Newmanologist. You're wearing your 2026 Amazon Prime Day t-shirt? Yeah, Prime Day is coming up. I think it's the 23rd through the 26th is when they will be doing the Prime Day deals. Great time of year to do your Christmas shopping. Great time of year. Just saying. Just saying. The hardest part, though, if you order stuff for Prime Day, then you have to hide it for 6 months. And you know you have a gift for this person. You're excited to give it to them. And you just have to sit on it. And it's torturous. That's kind of the same thing, Stacy. One lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Todd Gilliland in that Love's Travel Stop Ford Mustang. The radar's not much of a concern right now. All right, Todd Gilliland taking stage 2. This is a Ozempic commercial. Why are they so proud of a pill version of Ozempic? Is this just for people that aren't man enough to inject themselves? Bam. So the AEW is coming to Nashville? Yeah, they're also coming to my town soon. Or they may have already come. I didn't pay attention. I went a couple years ago for Sting's Final Dynamite, but I've been keeping up with wrestling as much. I still follow like the storyline, the big headlines, the big highlights, but I haven't been watching live in a while. But I might have to give it another look, see how they're doing. It's just, I mean, if you watch SmackDown, if you watch Raw, that's what, 2 to 3 hours of wrestling each. And you're mostly watching ads the whole time. Like, there are commercial breaks, there are ads in the ring, there are ads around the ring. They talk about ads during the actual broadcast. So you're mostly just watching ads nowadays. And then you might have a pay-per-view on Saturday. You gotta watch that. And like AAA shows, and it's a lot to keep up with week after week. Wednesday through Saturdays, then go and spend time with Trisha. Go home on Tuesday afternoons. Yeah. What did you miss? A little bit in the chat. More happened in the chat than in the race. But on that note, there were several different pit strategies. Guys that had stayed out the last 2 cautions ended up needing to take more fuel, lost some ground. Hamlin was able to get by Elliott before their pit window and held the lead after the pit cycle. So Hamlin's the fastest car on fresh tires, it seems. But he's currently scored 9th. We'll see if he restarts there or if any of these guys come down for service. Strategies all over the place. Seems like if Hamlin's further back, we won't have to worry about him. But if he gets track position, could be curtains for the field. Are you serious, Rusty? No kidding. No kidding. 32 years old. Almost made it to his 33rd birthday. Would have been in a couple weeks. Wow. Dies in helicopter crash. Stay away from helicopters, guys. Stay away from helicopters. I don't like flying in helicopters. You can feel it rise and fall, and it's terrifying. Like, man, it feels like when you drop 15 feet suddenly because of turbulence, it's like, man, the blades are gonna snap and we're just all gonna die. He was a musician. If you ever watch any like YouTube shorts or like any short form content, you probably heard one of his songs. That's really where he blew up, is a lot of his songs went somewhat viral for use in short form content, TikToks, YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, that kind of thing. I just watched a video about him like maybe a couple weeks ago, talking about his rise to fame and then kind of where he stagnated. And then he like started to lean into that. He was cool with it. And 5 other people, mid-air collision with maybe like a power line or a radio or a radio tower or like another helicopter. Yeah, Christian might be a bit nicer than Stacy. Stacy's got those mama bear instincts. Rawr. Ferocious. Stacy doesn't mind saying when she isn't happy. That's good. That's good to not disguise your thoughts, your feelings. Some people, even if they're miserable, they won't say anything. I just have a bit of patience, and King was doing a good job of handling it. I try to give people as many chances as I can, but sometimes it hits that point, you know. Yeah, you got to stay away from helicopter crashes. What's going on in Brazil? Hey, guys. Have you guys seen the video of the lady that got thrown off the bridge? This happened in Brazil maybe yesterday. I don't know if it happened yesterday, but the news broke yesterday. A lady got thrown off a bridge in Brazil. So she was going bungee jumping. I know you've seen it. I sent it to you. I haven't sent it to these people. Not everyone probably wants to see it, but you don't see anything. Most videos are blurred out. This lady goes bungee jumping. So you see her in the video. The two guys, they pick her up like Superman style. One has her legs, one has her like maybe by the shoulders or something, and they yeet her off the bridge. They yeet her off the bridge. They didn't connect the bungee cord to her. And so she just falls like almost 200 feet, I think, and just hits the ground. That's it. That was it for her. Two of the employees ran off into the woods to try to get away. They sent in helicopters and they found him and rounded all the employees up. 6 of them got arrested. But she flew like Superman and then rotated and then came back face up. So for half a second, I don't know if she had time to think about it. She may have just been inspecting the bungee cord to kick in. But maybe for half a second, she could have realized, I don't see a cord. I don't see a rope. But she just splat. Stacy, stay away from Ty Gibbs juice. That's like stimulation in a can. Dangerous. Imagine if they had Monster in cans this size. So you could just get a little bit of energy. Just a little bit. A little bit of energy. That would be awesome. That would be really awesome. I would drink the Monster cans over like Coke or Dr. Pepper sometimes. That'd be sick. I also wish Monster was actually like radioactive green, but it's not. You pour it out and it's like brown. Very sad. What's Eric Cartman doing? I was confused about that as well. He used to be a pit sign. I remember that. I'm not sure who used him as their pit sign. Aerodrop? I can't aerodrop. I don't use Apple products. Aside from, I still have my iMac. I don't use it. And then I have my MacBook, which I do actually use. Aside from that, I don't use Apple stuff. Stacey, I'm kind of the same way. When I get stuck on something, I kind of stay on it. Even if I'm like doing other things, it's still in the back of my mind. It's in my chest. It's hard to move past some things. Rusty says he has an iPhone XS Max. Very good, Stacy. Very good. Those are respectable numbers. Respectable. I need to find out what day the runoff elections are. They may be this week. I need to go vote. I need to go exercise my civic right. We are 3 wide further back in the field. 4 wide now. Into turn 1. They're going to get back to 3 wide. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hamlin up to second. Oh, no. All this for another Hamlin win? No. It can't be. Larson not really having a great race. Better than Alex Bowman, though. My goodness, what a bad day to wear a Bowman hat. They're giving free Red Bull. They were giving free Red Bulls at the Indy 500. Not bad. Good for America. Exactly right. Exactly right. People say, are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? I'm an American. And I only vote for Americans. America. Which really opens up my options. There are a lot of Americans that run for office. DD12 still under caution? Oh dear. Yeah, they're a bit behind today. Hashtag fire Blake Harris. For sure, I was actually in the replies of some Hendrick tweets this week. I said, can we fire Blake Harris? ... Into the sun. I'm done. I'm done. There's no defending Blake Harris. No, especially at a track that he won at, which he was gifted his win by Larson blowing a tire, but he was already running second. He was fast enough to run second at this very track. I don't understand how Rick and Jeff are okay, apparently, with Alex Bowman and Blake Harris just running a tractor out there every week. I don't understand it. Reddick has a tire down. Or not. So I have a tire down. Be ready, but then he's not coming. Are we about to see Reddick knock down the outside wall? Bring back Lance McGrew. 3 energy drinks in one night. Oh, dear. That was one time I'd been up for several days. I was traveling. It's back in my wild man era. The only sleep I'd had for like 3 days was maybe 20, 30 minutes at a Darlington race. It may have not even been that long. I think it was like 30 laps, maybe. So it could have been 10 minutes. But I was drinking Monsters, and Casey Kane lost a wheel. Caution is out. Lap 105. On to lap 106. Yeah, that's a problem. Do we have a... I don't really have a replay of it. So, doesn't seem like it'll be a suspension or anything. That team doesn't run full time anyway. So they'll be fine. Seems like more of a part failure. I don't think that was the lug nuts problem. I think Letarte was saying it could have been a rotor exploding that caused that. I forget exactly what he said. Yeah, wheel ended up splitting. Is the you could see it from one of the angles. The rim completely separated from the tire, which is pretty wild. Yeah, so I guess rotor exploded, hit the wall, wheel shattered. Probably the chain of events that led up to that. From the initial angle, I was like, oh dear, lost a wheel. Like, and I was thinking it's a little late in a run to lose a wheel. Normally, these single lugs fall off just under the pace laps, you know, running behind the pace car. Or maybe they make it like half a lap or something. They usually don't make it this many laps. Yeah, something pretty bad happened on that 62. A lot of those guys involved in the earlier accident were able to continue. The exception being Brad. They're not, apparently haven't ruled Zane Smith out of the race yet. We don't see him out there. He just has to go out and make 5 laps, and he could get an extra point over Brad Keselowski. Joey back on pit road for more repairs. Whoa, his in-car is glitching out. Oh, no, Joey's entering the Matrix. That was wild. Jason says, not trying to sound weird, but does anyone remember Kenny Irwin Jr.? I do. Yeah, I do. His buddy Brad went to school with him, and he said that when he went to Kenny Jr.'s funeral, he didn't look like himself. Yeah, I mean, that'll happen sometimes. That'll happen, as they say. That'll happen. It's because, you know, the skin complexion changes after death, lose the color, and then the funeral home, like the embalming process and the makeup they put on there, it can definitely make people look very different from how they looked in life. Did Reddick blow a tire? No, Mirrors knocked down the outside wall. It looks like potentially Mirrors blew a right front rotor up the track into the outside wall, shattered the wheel, and the wheel came clear off. And the tire and the rim actually went their separate ways. So it wasn't a lug falling off. So I don't think we'll see a penalty for the 62. Some hard contact there. Still just barely behind Connor Zilic. A couple laps down. What is Connor Zilic doing? The last car on pace right now. Behind Daniel Dye and Cody Ware. Zilic has got to go somewhere else. A lot of rotor problems. Yep. Yeah. They probably had to do some extensive cleanup. Yeah, unfortunate for Miros. Toyota. They have a few injured guys up here. And then let's scroll down. Alex Bowman. What is his bum crew chief doing? I know they probably just pit, but good night. Rusty says Oliver Tree's helicopter collided with another, and they both fell into a lot full of electric vehicles. Oh. Wow. What a way to go. So this is interesting. I stole it. So the body on that car looks like the Gen 7, but I think the initial half car was made with a Gen 6 show car, and they just had the front-facing decal, or the slid forward decal for the number. I need to go back and look at it to confirm. So I wonder if they made another, or if they actually somehow got a Gen 7 body on a Gen 6 chassis. They said he's going to jump off here and go pick up Subway for Trisha and himself. All right, we'll see you, Jason. And stay safe and enjoy your Subway. Yeah, I'll take a meatball sub. Man, I don't know if you guys ever had that one place. What's the name of that one place that sells sandwiches? Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's used to make a meatball sub. They don't anymore, which is a tragedy. But it was really good. It was really good. Firehouse has a decent one, but Jersey Mike's. One time I got sick at work after I ate a full one, and I saw the sandwich again. Painted the wall with it. It was bad. All right. Take the inside. Denny Hamlin, outside Nemechek. Okay, so you have two teammates outside row, two teammates inside row. I don't really like the idea of giving Hamlin the inside here. Larson, I believe, grabbed the lead from the inside on the initial start, right? Subway's 1 minute from a house? That's awesome. That's awesome. I like chicken teriyaki. Good choice. Yeah, those lithium fires are crazy. Any kind of battery fire. You even see like small, like laptop batteries and stuff when they catch on fire. It just goes up so fast. Nice. Just checking my heart rate. I don't know if my chest is feeling bad because of my heart or because of my pec injury. It doesn't feel good. Never had Jersey Mike's. We do have them 20-ish minutes away. It's decent. It's decent. I think it's better than Subway. But it depends on what you want. Like, I like their Philly cheesesteak still. They even have a chicken Philly. But I really like their meatball sub, but I don't know if they don't make them nationally, but they definitely don't make them here anymore. All right, Hamlin back out front. I thought it was a bad idea to give Hamlin the inside there. Three Hendrick guys nose to tail. Reddick's going to wash up the track a bit. Radar looks really clear right now. Looks really good. Live chat on DD12 is always so wild. I've only checked it out a few times. I do really like that there's a chat feature. But the larger your chat gets, the more wild it gets. People just start spamming stuff and arguing with each other, trying to rage bait. Hamlin into the... Not Hamlin. I saw a blue car. Thought progressive, but no, that was Blaney in the wall. Little tank slap there, it seems like. They all continue on. Let's take a look at this. So it looks like maybe slight contact between Chastain and Blaney. Nothing crazy. Blaney didn't get the ball too hard. Yeah, I think on airplanes they have special containers for lithium batteries in case there is a fire. Put it in there and it'll smother it. Rusty said he just glanced at it, and the first comment was, "Isn't autism an ideology?" Autism is a state of mind. Kathy, whatever her name is, Kathy Kelly, something like that, the ringside reporter for, and backstage reporter for WWE, she said last week that she got diagnosed with autism. And there were people under her announcement for that saying, "Get well soon," which is not the response that you should see under an announcement like that. St. Smith back on track, 71 laps down. Yeah, I mean, gonna get a couple points here. Look at that. Never give up. Noah Gragson got back out on track too, though. And there's enough laps left for Noah to get by Casey. If he doesn't go more laps down, that is. Oh my goodness, Bowman. Bowman free falling. He's getting passed by cars that have wrecked and hit the wall. Oh my goodness. SVG spun earlier, was involved in the big one, and Bowman's about to get passed. I can't stand this 48 team. All right, Bowman able to get that position from Bubba. That will keep SVG behind him for a little bit longer. Yeah, not much out of Hocevar. Seems like they had speed maybe in practice, but from what I heard, he almost wrecked it in qualifying. So it seems like they just didn't have a handle on that car. Really, the only Spire guy that was up there at the start of the race was Suarez. He's now fallen back. And McDowell, the guy who was the furthest back Spire car, has actually moved up to the top 10. It's been an up and down race. A lot of guys on different strategies here. Yeah, you don't really see a lot of hurricanes in Pennsylvania. Props to Bell today for racing after last week. I was a little worried about this week. You know, 3 really hard flat turns. You know, at a really banked track, a lot of the load is vertical. You know, the car sits into the corner and they rotate through. There, you know, there's still lateral load, but it's not as bad. Now, at this track, with a lot less banking, it's a lot more lateral load. And you're shifting multiple times a lap. 5 to 6 times, I heard Larry McReynolds say. I'm not sure how many times Bell is shifting. Bell may be limiting how many times he's on the shifter. But I was a little worried about the contact he had with the outside wall. And even that, I don't know if, you know, he still had his hand on the wheel. I'm sure he probably did. So I bet they have it braced pretty well. But man, it probably didn't feel great. Buescher's down pit road. Eric Jones on pit road. They're going to try to go 42 laps. That's our fuel window right there. It's 42. 42 laps on one tank. That's going to be a long time to stay out on older tires. And we could see once again Denny Hamlin in the position to run down cars on older tires and run away with the win. I think we've seen that a few times this year. Briscoe able to get off pit road first there. Very close between those three cars. Hamlin with a ginormous lead. John Hunter down pit road. I mean, if we stay green, this is a Denny Hamlin win already. It's Jover, boys. It's Jover. All this for a Denny Hamlin win. I don't even have to update the post race. I just have to change the thing to Pocono. That's all I have to do. It's Denny Hamlin. This loser. Up here. When has he even won anything this season? Hardly relevant. Needs to retire. Washed up. Golly, Denny Hamlin. Justin Allgaier also having a similar year. You know, just late in their careers, older drivers, and running the best they ever have. '63 is pretty wild. I saw Kaz Gralla said his mouthpiece registered, I think it was like 53 G's or something, or 51.5. It was somewhere around there. Crazy hard hit. It bent the wheel like a banana. That's how hard the hit was. I don't know how that happens, but he was able to bring it back around, or get it towed back. I'm not sure what they did. Get a new, like a replacement wheel, and they finished the race. Which is crazy. The mouthpiece was, you know, tracking the G load. That's a high-tech mouthpiece. Christian said William Byron gained a fan from you after his comments on the Bell crash. Basically he agrees with us, wants the old car back. Let's go. I know Byron wants the old car back. I feel like a lot of the more skilled drivers, especially drivers that were traditionally at very competitive teams, I know they want the old car back. About the only guy who wants this current car to stay is Denny Hamlin, with how things have been going. Best he's ever been. And SVG probably wants this car to stay as well. I don't think the Gen 6 would suit him as well. Like, you see him in the Xfinity races, in the truck races. He's still up there competing for the win. Don't get me wrong. But it's not the absolute dominance that we see. Don't like the composite bodies. Yeah, there's pros and cons. I like how they can get into the wall a bit. I like how they can, you know, beat and bang a little bit and not cut down a tire. But the downside is, like, I guess for those same reasons, you're actually able to do that stuff, so you don't have to be as good. You don't have to be as precise. But the one lug is garbage. I think there's a lot of drivers that are really good, but this car, it takes so much out of the hands of the drivers. And so you're just kind of stuck driving the car you have. You can take a garbage driver, put him up front at clean air at a certain track. You know, maybe he has just older tires. Maybe that's the only difference. And he may actually be able to hold on the lead for a handful of laps because of how this car, you know, does things. Especially if you don't have the fastest car right behind them. They may hold it for a while. And then you have a guy like Denny, like we saw earlier in this race, get stuck further back in the pack, can't make their way forward. Or last week at Michigan, Denny was around, he started in the rear of the field, got stuck around 30th. For the first half of the race, he was stuck back there. Had to play strategy to gain track position, and that's what saved his day. Without a few of those cautions at Michigan, Denny Hamlin, I don't think he would have won. May have still been able to get, into the top 20, but it would have been difficult. Yeah, Delara. Delara making the chassis. That was supposed to save the team's money, and they ended up firing a lot of people that had good, high-paying jobs. And a lot of those people got laid off, had to go elsewhere. Good job, NASCAR. Hurricane's up to 7th, but that's not on pace. I think they're just running long here, hoping to catch a caution. No one has anything for Hamlin right now. It will take a caution. It will take a caution for anyone to take this from Denny. Byron didn't blow up at Phoenix. He'd possibly be the first driver to win all 3 Cup, O'Reilly, and Truck championships. Yeah, stock cars are 5 lugs, 2 frame. Yeah, that's my America. 5 lugs are just so much cooler. As a kid, one of the coolest things of being at the track was hearing the air guns and watching them go to work. It was awesome. Yeah, imagine Byron's not the guy that blows up and it's someone else that brings out the last caution. Yeah, 5 was nice because you could still have guys finish the race with 4 and they would just get a penalty. Just a small penalty. But even with 4, even if you just had a loose lug, the guys would feel it. You would feel it in the car, and guys would usually come down pit road. They had more of a warning period. Whereas this car, they pull back out on track. They can, if they're even able to get back up to speed, wheel comes off. Bang, penalty. Suspension. There's no warning at all. And that lug is massive. So if one of those ever got kicked into the crowd, it could kill someone. Now, it would take a special set of circumstances for that, but anything can happen in a NASCAR race. You get a big metal lug coming at you full speed. Say goodbye. Hope you don't like breathing, because you won't be doing much of it after that. Yeah, Le Mans sports car, it makes sense, yeah. They're trying to establish Mountain Dew lore like they were the first citrus drink. They are not. That's Sundrop. Mountain Dew is a usurper. Mountain Dew was originally meant as a drink mixer. I know the lore. But Sundrop doesn't have the distribution that Mountain Dew has. I don't know. Sundrop hits pretty good. Sundrop hits pretty good. That's right. That's right. I think it's there in town that I saw it. They have a giant painted mural for Mountain Dew. I don't know if it's still there, but like a decade ago it was. Had a hard time getting that out. Jason, good to see you. Welcome back. I mean, you have to expect the unexpected. Imagine at Indy, was it a couple years back when the wheel went over the wall? Went over the fence and into the parking lot? Imagine if that had hit into the stands. That would have been really bad. That would have been really bad. And I saw another wheel go over the wall once. It was, I think it was Kyle Busch's flip at Talladega. I think. And in the Busch series, that could have been bad. I'm not sure if it was that one. But I know the wheel in that wreck got some height, from what I remember. 3 years ago. I don't know what Dr. Enough is. Pretty cool the lady it happened to got a pace car, though. She kind of won the lottery. And honestly, like, yeah, sure, she could have kept it, but she also could sell it and probably make more money. I have a lot of acid right now. I can feel it. I'm gonna go take some Tums. This is a Tums commercial break. I know nothing about champagne. Not even Dollar General. I don't know anything about champagne, period. Except that James Bond occasionally drinks it. The 8-ball knows Denny Hamlin. I don't even have to change our post race. We already have it locked in. So for those of you that may be new here, after the race, we will be doing a post-race show. So feel free to join us for that. I'm going to go ahead and prepare that. I thought Dale Jr. just then said pre-race beatings. So what are they doing to Austin Hill? Let's take a look at it. Bang. Looking good. Now, real champagne is soft. Champagne, aka soda. I mean, I saw the word soft, so I figured. I'm just talking. I don't know anything about it. Period. Soft, hard, squishy, whatever. Danny Dye good in ARCA, sucks in trucks. O'Reilly good in Cup. I don't think he's good in Cup. I think he's played some strategy here. It'll come back around. Reddick on pit road is interesting. I wonder how many spots he's going to lose here, because this could be what really closes that gap up more between Reddick and Hamlin. I'm sick of these two Toyotas. I'm sick of them. Impressive what they're doing, but man, do I hate it. Whoa, Ty Gibbs sliding through his pit box. That's going to lose him crucial time. Several seconds. Whoa. Whoa, Ty Gibbs sliding it through the box. Not great. Not great. And let's be careful about the good in ARCA descriptor. I think if you have a car that actually functions plus half a brain cell, like, you're top 10. Easy. ARCA just makes me laugh how uncompetitive it can be week to week. Let's run through our leaderboard and see what we can see. So Blaney is the first car that can... Not Blaney. I did it again. Denny's the first car. That can make it. Apparently SVG had issues there. He's continuing. Bell might stay out. Try to make it to the end. But then he's going to run him down here. More than likely. Run it 54.6 to a 54.1. At a half a second, 22 laps. That's enough time to get there. That's more than enough time. And he's fine. And Bell may need to slow down even more to make it to the end. I guess Bell's going to try to win this race. I don't think the strategy should be to save like really hard, because then you're letting Denny catch up quicker. I don't think Bell's going to outrun Hamlin on pace, but we'll see. Rusty says he's been watching more Archicletus. Oh, he's been watching more Archicletus as a local where he's at. It's cool seeing him out there, for sure. Oh, dude, yesterday was a wreck fest. Try to eat this sometime. Chicken nuggets with the Subway sweet onion chicken teriyaki sauce. Game changer. I'm not a huge fan of onion generally, but I think onion might be one of the ingredients in the McDonald's sweet and sour sauce. So, potentially, I could be persuaded because I do like teriyaki. Oh, it's insane. At one point in the race, I think it was halfway, we had run over half the laps under caution. Byron's about half a second back from Hamlin. A little over half a second now. Could Bell hold up Hamlin enough to bring Byron into the conversation? Does Byron have anything to do or say here? My goodness, if William Byron could win this thing, I might just go out of the woods and end it all. I would want that to be the last race I ever saw. You're gonna see Bell get it? I would be okay with a Bell win. That would be a really cool story. Broken wrist gets the win. Be a Michael Jordan flu game moment. Had the floss. Wait, is the floss invisible? Whoa! Whoa! Trippy. My teeth were bothering me. Those Twizzlers I ate earlier. I was driving real good last weekend. Yeah. King Mago says he wants John Hunter Nemechek to win. You might be one of 13 people in the world. I think 3 of them live in Southeast Asia. 2 of them are in Iraq. And then the rest, I guess, are wherever you live. You like John Hunter? Why? I'm not saying I dislike him, but I've just seen a lot of people coming out and saying they don't like him lately. So it's interesting to see the opposite opinion on here. I would prefer a Jones win. But it would be interesting to see the 42 back in victory lane. Let's see what the gap is this lap. So 15 to go, 18 seconds, right? That's still about half a second a lap he needs to gain. He's got to gain half a second every lap. And then he still has to make the pass once he gets there. You're just a contrarian at this point. Eric Jones is my guy. And he's not my favorite driver, but I like Eric Jones a lot. I think he's a really good driver. A lot better than the equipment he's in. This could be Eric Jones up there in the 20 right now. If Joe Gibbs wasn't such a jerk. Sometimes. I just feel like Eric Jones got done really dirty. Maybe if Joe Gibbs didn't kill off all these other teams, Furniture Row and such, maybe they would have had a place for Bell to drive. Suarez, maybe not as much. I think Suarez was rushed up. I don't think he was the guy for that car. I think he's one of those guys that are good for like maybe a win a season, win every now and then, but I don't think Suarez will ever be one of the top guys. Like, let's say Edwards had stayed another couple of years, then maybe Suarez could have made something of that 19 car. If Suarez hadn't gotten pushed out by that point. Yeah, Suarez is he's not bad at the road courses. Byron not gaining here. And Hamlin is still somewhat on schedule, maybe a little behind. Denny's going to have to really push for this, but he may be able to make it. The question is, can Bell make it? Is Bell still somewhat saving, or is Bell going all out now? Denny's right on the number, half a second faster. The Toyotas are ugly. It's definitely way different. Now, I don't know if you've seen some of the newer Camrys. They don't have the black painted grill, like the black plastic grill. The new ones have a black bar up top, and the grill is painted the color of the car. So if it's a blue car, it's a blue painted grill, and it's unique, but it's kind of ugly. Kinda ugly. But it's interesting, we're finally shifting away from every car having a fake grill. I'm not sure how much I trust that bar. They've had times where that bar read, 5% or 3%, and the guys run for 10 more laps. Just letting off early. Hamlin was almost a second faster that last lap. Bell started really saving that last lap. This is going to put Denny in a really good place. 10 laps to go. We are under 5 seconds back for Hamlin. So now he has less than half a second to gain per lap, and he'll still get there. All this for another Hamlin win. Wouldn't that be something? Byron has nothing for him. Buster's pretty fast right now. He has enough pace to be running up there with Byron. Compared to the guys in front of him, at least. Jones kind of matched him on that last lap. They both have pace. Chastain, 45 flat. Or 54 flat, my bad. About even with Byron. It's a good pace for Chastain on that one lap. And then last lap, 53.8. Ross Chastain, fastest car on the track right now, I think. Am I reading this right? Is Ross Chastain just blistering the track right now? And look at this. Alex Bowman, 28th. I need everyone to tweet or contact HMS on some social media. Hashtag fire Blake Harris. Hashtag into the sun. Gone. We need him gone. Denny's only 3 seconds back. 8 laps to go. Denny's now ahead of schedule. Jason says we'll probably have one more caution. I don't know if we want to see another caution. I think this is Hamlin's race. Either way, caution or no caution. I don't think Bella's going to be able to hold off Hamlin for more than a lap or two. And I don't think Bella's willing to drive Denny up the track either. Bell's a pretty clean driver as far as the Cup guys go. We're just barely going to make it. It's actually really nice that we started the race early. It's really nice because now I actually have my evening to look forward to. Six laps to go. All right, Bell's just letting him go. Denny's got the win. Denny, it's over. It's over, ladies and gents. Oh, well, the O'Reilly race will actually go by really fast if you skip all the cautions and all the commercials. You probably watch it in 30 minutes. They were hardly green. There he goes. Bell just giving up there. I mean, Denny was my pick for today's race, so, like, again, I can't be mad, but still, I'm tired of this. Every week, oh, who might win the race? Well, Denny, Tyler Reddick, kind of the picks. Yeah, it's kind of what we're stuck with. A good recovery race for William Byron. They've been having a not great season here. Compared to last year, it's been really bad. Elliott, not the finish they wanted, but they ran in the top 10 for much of this race after starting back in like 21st or something, further back. And then let's check on Alex Bowman, 28th. Connor Zilic is ahead of him. You know you're bad when Connor Zilic is ahead of you. It's over. If Bowman will drag the brakes a bit, he could block. He could block Denny. Manipulate the race. Rough day for Austin Dillon. I stand by my statement that they started switching the equipment between the 8 team and the 3 team, and that's why Kyle had turned it around. Or maybe really a crew chief change was all they needed. It's impressive, Austin Hill. I mean, it's not a great finish, but in the, you know, in the bigger picture, this is pretty impressive to be ahead of your full-time veteran teammate. Denny delivers is rubbing his hands right about now. A lot of Denny fans. For Denny fans, enjoy this. Please enjoy this, because we only, at most, have a few more years of Denny. And like a light switch, like Kevin Harvick, like, you know, Kyle Busch, you know, the wins get harder to come by just overnight. You know, you go from winning to nothing. Jimmy Johnson, winning championships. Big wreck at Pocono, never really won after that. Light switch. Bell's out of fuel. One lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Denny Hamlin with a 2.5 second lead. Oh no, Reddick got by Byron. 2 second lead. How about that? How about that? Disappointing for Bell. Almost had the strategy call of the day. Staying out and running long. Gonna lose several spots here. Hey, on the bright side, I don't need to change my post-race show overlay. So if you guys are new here, we're gonna do our post-race show right after the race ends. So hope to see you guys over there. This one might be a quick one because there's not much to talk about today's race. And that's good. I have things to do. Stuff and things. 1 gallon, maybe a half gallon to make. Yeah, so close. The Minions are going to victory lane. I forgot Denny was in the Minions car. That's actually really cool that he won. Although, they are probably not going to make this scheme. I'm not sure if Lionel's going to release this scheme because of licensing. They've been having a big struggle with licensing lately, and I've heard different things about this car. Whether or not it might get made as a diecast. Oh, I'm not as mad anymore. The Minions are in victory lane. I love the Minions. I love the Minions. When that movie comes out, day one, I will be there, first in line. I love the Minions. Gonna mow today. Just looked out the window. It's raining pretty good. It's been on and off. It rained pretty good down a bit further east, but I don't think it rained here at all. It rained overnight, but not during the day. I hear some thunder outside. Well, yeah, Reddick getting P2 will help stop the bleeding, but it's not going to slow down Denny gaining. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good storm. That's a pretty good storm. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining. It was a really fun race stream. We're going to go live with our post-race coverage, so hope to see you guys over there. May wrap this one up pretty quick. But until next time, those Minions jump up on the wall. It's wild. But until next time, guys, hope you guys have a good evening. I will probably go live at some point this evening with something. Probably either Black Ops, could be Spider-Man, it could be anything. So I'll see you guys for that one. But immediately after, we will be starting our post-race show. So I hope to see you guys then. Blah, blah, blah. See you in the next one.